Into the Past, Chapter 40, Related Warriors, Empress Swan Rose's Medical Services. Empress Swan Rose is showing the new visitors around her ship. Sai and Pride are talking to what seems to look familiar to the medical field, while Prayer and Bullseye are talking to scientists. The president is talking with the Empress. Trigger Happy is looking around the surroundings. The floating satellites are capturing and recording everything. Empress Swan Rose says, I have visualized at your data before I arrived the first time we met. President of the United States says, so what are your thoughts of my homeworld? Empress Swan Rose says, your homeworld star could use our structure in appreciating life itself. President of the United States says, it has been hard for us to get along for a very long time. Empress Swan Rose says, so I have visualized according to the message you have outside of your homeworld star. Your homeworld star's Republical archived readings in the atmospheric region. Okay, atmospheric region means basically like where you have the satellites on outside of Earth. That's considered the atmospheric region, and Republical archived readings. That's like it's like a log of that particular republic. Basically, it's like having a stack of all information from certain people and so forth or whatnot. Okay. President of the United States says, you mean our satellites? Empress Swan Rose says, yes, your communication device told me of your historic archives of your past events. President of the United States says, it was for preparation to let you know that we mean no harm. Empress Swan Rose says, yet, according to your televised programmings, you explore your discoveries by destruction against the will of the life forms. President of the United States says, I can't control everyone that walks on my planet. Empress Swan Rose says, so you say. When another being makes a discovery, you infiltrate and take what is not yours. The president didn't know what to say at that moment. President of the United States says, we do such events so that there is no war or panic and distress. Empress Swan Rose says, instead of taking what is not yours, you should be helping and grow to understand that beings that don't like to be imprisoned and will strike back with vengeance. Towards behind their discussion, Sai and Pride are talking with what looks like a doctor and a nurse likeness combination. Princess Pride says, hi, Doctor, meaning doctor nurse. According to my research, you have similar beings that resemble our own, except our beings are much more different in the features and the temperament. They must be understood before we can communicate with them and let them know we mean no destruction of their life force. Princess Pride says, I have a question. Doctor says, question. Lady Deathly Sigh says, what she's trying to say is, we would like to understand what beings you are exploring. Doctor says, yes, of course. Here's what we know of our Republical archived readings. Both Pride and Sai are taking a look at what looks like a tablet. The only difference is it's transparent and looks as though he is pressing nothing but air. But you see what's going on. He shows them all the living animals and the comparison to their similar animals. Princess Pride says, have you done a DNA check to see how familiar we really are? Doctor says, if I understand this correctly, you mean what you call sequential coding. Lady Deadly Sigh says, yes, what we have inside ourselves. Doctor says, you mean this sequential coding structure. He shows them the DNA sequence. Princess Price said, Lady Deadly Sigh says, would you be able to give me a copy of this? Doctor, copy. Princess Price says, she means another of what you have explored. Doctor, I understand. I have to ask the Impressional and the Imperial first. Lady Deadly Sigh says, we can ask for you instead if you give us what you explored. She's not far from us. She's right over there. She points over to her direction ahead. Doctor says, I don't want to get released from my post. Here you go. Princess Price says, we appreciate you very much. Doctor says, show the Impressional rapidly. I have much more exploration needed to be completed. They leave going past Prayer and Bullseye, heading towards the President and the Empress. President of the United States says, hey you guys, back here, stick close to us here. He had turned around and notices everybody is spread out but in sights. Bullseye and Prayer are talking to what looks like to them scientists. Last Prayer says greetings. St. Nicholas says greeting. St. Nicholas basically is a scientist and a specialist put together. Sikanel says, I improve our existence by the data that gets renewed by the Pensarial. They both say at the same time Pensarial. St. Nicholas says, of course, Pensarial-Doggeralian has education based on his research differences between our homeworld star realms and the others we explored. Lassberry says, what's your number of explored research data? St. Nicholas, according to the sequential backgrounds, our own is much more advanced and changes whenever the being desires. Bullseye says, how much of a change? St. Nicholas says, since the solution we need to survive, it has connections to the Mervasarusian realms. Last Prayer says, Mervasar what? St. Nicholas says, yes, the Mervasarusians have the solution we need to survive. He shows them the research on a transparent screen, the water, or in their case, the solution. Bullseye says, that looks as though they have similar features of fish and human likeness. St. Nicholas says, our exploration shows the Mervasarusians have capabilities to change their appearance and extend their habitat by their own defensive tactics. They do so we don't have them on a complete scale, which makes more of an exploration that needs to be worked on. Last Prayer says, could we have what you have, or so perhaps we can help you later on. St. Nicholas says, you mean an archive of the work? Bullseye says, of course. St. Nicholas says, I have to ask the impressional and her less evolved youngkin, Pensarial-Doggeralian first. Last Prayer says, we can do that for you, of course, since the Empress herself is showing us her establishment. The way you can continue your research. Of course, be rapid counterparts. I don't want to get released of my duty here. Bullseye says, we will. Last Prayer says, we have to get going. Our leaders telling us to stick closely together. St. Nicholas goes back in the room and continues the ongoing research. Trigger Happy continues to look around with admiration with the walls that have paintings of historic proportions. Of course, unaware of the artwork on the walls, it looks similar to the ones on Earth. The only difference is the markings are much more complicated to understand. The writings or hieroglyphics are way out of comprehension. Everybody gathers together and had asked if they could keep what was given to them. She understood by pressing matters. She hopes we can work together and figure out what they couldn't. Perhaps coexist with one another. It won't be easy. She understands the challenges are great, with extra help is always welcome. The Empress only showed them only a portion of the ship to ensure safety and how the humans react, and they take them back to the communications room. Empress Rose says, do you desire to view our recreational activities of enjoyable excitement? President of the United States says, perhaps I should return to my homeworld star before I have a crisis among the life forms back in my home realm. Empress Rose says, you can extend your words from here if you wish. President of the United States says, perhaps another day to schedule this event. Empress Rose says, not until you visualize what I have to offer your world as a gift of my past intrusions. The ship opens a doorway to her homeworld. Everybody can hear cheers of excitement. A very beautiful world that has water and land in opposite direction of that on Earth. President of the United States says, why is this water on top and the land is on the bottom? Empress Rose says, you have much exploration that needs your attention. Let us be on our way. After this explorational visual is complete, I will return to where you were before coming through here. President of the United States says, of course. The doorway extends higher and wider and covers them. All of a sudden, they are in another world that has much to look at. Chapter 41, Related Warriors, meeting up with Red Shadow. While Red Shadow was about to follow Roulette, he got an unexpected call from within his mask. Shadow Angel of Death says, hey, where the hell are you at? Red Shadow says, about time you came out of that coma thing you were under. The masks have been upgraded. All audio and messaging alike has been upgraded to read each other's thoughts without actually talking. Okay, let me explain that part. The metal from the other alien place, when it, well, it's going to be explained later, but basically, after it's completed, it helps whatever you programmed it to do, it will do it, plus enhance it. So basically, inside their masks, the covering and so forth, just for them thinking about it, it brings up from their, in front of their eyes like a screen, and it shows them whatever options they have to pick with their eyes and so forth. So on certain parts of the screen, it's like this is the only thing you see, part of their head, a little up over maybe, and like maybe part of their chest or maybe just their face. And if I was thinking this is what I want to do, then it's like actual saying it, but just on the screen only. So it's silent and nobody's really saying anything physically out of their mouth. Okay. Shadow Beauty says, so you managed to find Red Shadow yet? Shadow Angel of Death says, I'm talking with him now. Shadow Order says, are you feeling up to be moving around? Shadow Angel of Death says, yes, for the moment. Shadow Beauty says, we have already upgraded your robot-like armor. Shadow Order says, yes, be sure to implement some of your ideas as well to test the configurations. Shadow Beauty says, we'll be working on more along the way as soon as our artists get educated on how it works. Shadow Angel of Death says, understood. Red Shadow Military says, damn. Shadow Angel of Death says, what happened? Red Shadow Military says, I lost roulette. Shadow Angel of Death says, don't worry, I'm almost close to your pinpointed location. Red Shadow Military says, better hurry if you want to stretch yourself to some excitement. I'm getting signature readings heading my way. Shadow Angel goes towards his location. She followed Red Shadow's tracks. Shadow Angel of Death says, I see you had company. Red Shadow Military says, oh, you noticed. Did you run into anyone else up there? Shadow Angel of Death says, no, just your aftermath leftovers. Red Shadow Military says, sorry about that. As they say, you snooze, you lose. Finally, meeting up with him, she positions herself next to him on the ceiling. Shadow Angel of Death says, so this is Roulette's headquarters. Red Shadow Military says, I don't care, we have company, and it's about time you arrive for some action. Shadow Angel of Death says, we are going to listen for a few moments to see what else happens. Fill me in on what I missed. Red Shadow Military says, Roulette had an unexpected surprise from an Arab terrorist leader. Shadow Angel of Death said, I didn't take him to be as a terrorist type. Red Shadow Military says he didn't accept the offer, so I helped him in killing them. Shadow Angel of Death says, I understand how you feel the pressure by our codes of elimination. Red Shadow Military says, yeah, no kidding, I can't rectify women or the big bosses since they belong to the Red Military Special Ops for capture and justice. Shadow Angel of Death says, we have no choice. We don't want them to find us. Besides, me being the only woman in this duo, I can only be the only one who can eliminate women. Red Shadow Military says, lucky you. I know a few women on my list that could use my skills. Besides, I don't mind not eliminating women or children, but it's the bigger bosses that bother me. We have to let them escape so that the justice part sets in motion. If you ask me, screw the system and kill them all. Shadow Angel Death says, you'll get over it. He looks at her funny as though she can't see the expression. She knows better of her cousin's upbringing. The butlers come into the room and ready themselves to clean up the mess that Red Shadow left behind as they begin speaking their native dialect. Butler 1 says, can you believe this mess? Butler 2 says, looks like Roulette had a party again. Butler 3 says, too bad he has this mess inside his father's underground mansion palace. As they are cleaning up, butlers are also on the rooftop and notice Red Shadow's skills of aftermath. Butler 4 says, hey you guys, we might have a problem. Butler 1 says, what is it? Butler 4 says, I'm on the rooftop and I see weird tracks. They almost look like a motor air cycle went through here. The only difference is it burnt right through the material. Butler 1 says, get me samples of that and clean up quickly before the local enforcement see that as well. Butler 4 says, yes sir. Red Shadow looks at her direction. Red Shadow Military says, here we go again. Shadow Angel of Death says, this reminds you of anything? Red Shadow Military says, yeah, back when Nightmare thought she could capture us. Shadow Angel of Death says, take care of the ones above. I'll wait until you return to take care of the rest. Red Shadow Military says, I'll be back in a few moments. He leaves while reaching the same way he came through. He got seen while she sets her configurations. Butler forces, hey you, stop right there or we'll fire. Red Shadow gets up and walks casually towards him. He sees 8 scanning his opponents on what they have. He gets notified of their packed steel and weaknesses. Butler forces, take off the mask so I can see what you look like. Red Shadow opens the invisible eye protection and opens the option to reveal his face. He turns around so they wouldn't see how the metal molds its way down to show his face. He pretends by removing the mask by using his hands, and then he turns to their attention. Butler 6, 8, and 5 say, damn, it's a woman. Butler 4 says, I'm in the mood for a little excitement, boys. How about you? They all say, hell yeah. Butler 5 says, let's make her do us all a favor. They all laugh at the idea. Red Shadow Military says, I haven't had a real man's touch. Would you like to come closer and remind me what it feels like? Butler 4 says, hey, we can help you with that problem. Butlers 4, 6, and 8 are going closer. They press their bodies against him. Butler 4 says, looks like you're not going anywhere for a while. Red Shadow Military says, so it seems. As he says, and with a confident smile, Butler 6, we have the perfect party here to show you how to be manhandled correctly. Red Shadow Military says, please, it's my first time since I've never had a party of this number. Butler 8 says, don't you worry of your pretty face. We'll teach you everything you need to know. They're gathering around him. They're touching on his backside. He pretends to enjoy the moment. He steps backwards. Then they try to pin him in a corner. His sword comes out of his gauntlet and molds into his hand. Then the 3 heads fly off to his right side of himself. Then he blurs his way around them, leaving shadow duplicates around to confuse them. Then they begin firing their weapons at the shadows left behind. After they get confused enough, the sickle part of his weapon is activated. He swings it around him. The decapitating body parts are flying everywhere. The remaining butlers leave for their lives. One of them jumps off the rooftop. The other killed himself by being unaware of the surroundings and fell in front of traffic. The other escapes with no trace. Red Shadow leaves and rushes to his cousin's side and tells what has happened. Red Shadow says, I lost one of them. Shadow Angel Death says, don't worry, I did some configurations myself. Time for me to test the theories of my experience. Shadow Angel's swords are pressure activated as well as Red Shadow's. Her blade can turn into a whip with an edge. The blade is sharp enough to cut through most metal, and if not all the metal so far. Red Shadow takes on 3 butlers at once after he lands from the ceiling. Shadow Angel snaps her fingers. At the same time, she is able to stand on her 2 feet, since having the qualities as Red Shadow of having anti-gravity and texture gripping shoes for all occasions. Shadow Angel of Death says, hey boys, got something for you. She opens the option to reveal her face the same way as Red Shadow did. Butler 15 says, fuck, it's a woman. Butler 16, 13, 12 say at the same time, a woman? Butler 15 says, what the fuck are you staring at? Fire at those bitches. The butler yells at his coworkers to get them out of a trance or hypnotizing experience. While in the air, she manages to cut off their arms and hands from their position of gunpoint. They eventually die from shock and loss of blood, since they both share the same qualities of their codes. The difference is they both have different features to match their foes with ease.